Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Cranky Gun Reviews. I'm over here at the reloading bench, and I have a whole bunch of 410 ammo that I'm going to reload. Buckeye Ballistics did a whole ton of 410 slug testing, and he basically sent me all of the empty hulls from his 410 testing. So thanks again, Justin from Buckeye Ballistics. And there's a few in here from CW Longshot as well. There's some stubby ones that he had tried reloading some slugs into, and you know, he had mixed results. Again, if you want to see the results on those, go to Justin's channel, Buckeye Ballistics. But what I'm going to do today, because I got my 410 back from Bear Creek Arsenal, the load that worked the best in that shotgun was these Remington Express extra long range 2.5-inch shells. So I'm going to try to mimic those shells and make something that's very similar and hope I can get these to cycle very well in the Bear Creek when I take it back out. So what I do every time I want to get started on this, I have these load books. You can buy these off eBay. You can buy them from a lot of different places. I think Precision Reloading probably sells them, and I know, what's the other reloading place online? It'll come to me. But there's a lot of places online that you can buy these books. So what I'm trying to do is, the Remington Express XLR shot is a 1250 feet per second, half-ounce load with number 7.5 bird shot from the reloading bench. Again, I'm doing some 410 loads, and what I'm trying to make tonight is the copy of the Remington Express XLR load. So this is going to be a half-ounce of number 7.5 shot, and I'm using some low gunpowder, some standard shot shell primers, which are the equivalent of a 209 primer, and I'm using some Claybuster wads because these are rated for about a half an ounce. I've already made a few of these. Again, I can't put all the information in this particular video because while I am not manufacturing ammunition, sometimes the overlords at YouTube think I am. So if you want to see all of the information, what I'm using for primers, what I'm using for the weight on the powders and everything else, you can head over to my Rumble channel, same name, Cranky Gun Reviews. I will have a lot more information over there. The velocity is around 1210 to 1220 feet per second. So you've seen me do this before on my Mech 600 press, loading the powder into this shell. Sometimes I like to flare out the necks of the shells a little bit before I put the wad in. So I have this Coughlin's funnel that I got from Walmart. This is something that you'd use to fill up camping stoves and things like that with white fuel. So I flare out the neck of that shell, put my Claybuster wad in there. This particular drop tube tends to get shot stuck in it because it tapers down so much. It's basically 12 gauge at the top and 410 at the bottom. So it's a step funnel, and a lot of times the shot gets stuck in there. But after I put the shot in there, I have these little overshot cards from Precision Reloading. Put that on top of my shot. Again, I have my little jig, my clamping vise jig that I use for reloading that I got off of eBay. Again, this was about $27 or $28. It's 3D printed. The thing works great. And then I have my Precision Reloading roll crimp for 410s. And I have done some reloading on these Express shells before. That works out pretty good for, fold crimps rather than roll crimping. The Express shells work pretty good, but I always get a little bit better results when I roll crimp it. So this is the result, a 2.5-inch shell that has just about a half an ounce of number 7.5 shot, and I write the size of the shot on the top of these so I know what it is. Every time I reload these, I have these little boxes that come from Cabela's. They say WSM, which I believe stands for Win Short Mag. These boxes work out great for doing 410. The base fits right in there, and you can store 50 shells in these. So that's why I like writing on the top of these as well, so I can see what they are after I reload them. So these are already primed hulls, so I'm just going to go and load a couple of more of these so you can get the idea on how it works. So I always try to put the wad in first, and if it doesn't go in right away, I'll either put it in by hand or I'll open the neck of this up. This one's a little bit on the tight side, but usually if you can get it started, you can get that wad to go down, or you end up folding it up really bad. So some cases you need to use a Sharpie marker or something to get it to go down in there. Once the wad's in there, drop the shot. Make sure it all goes down into the hull. There's my shot. Grab my overshot card, again from Precision Reloading. Put that in the top of the shell, make sure it's seated on the shot, and then do a roll crimp. So there again, you have it. Another nice 2.5-inch shell. Very simple to do. I've gotten 2, 3, sometimes 4 reloads out of 410 shells. For some reason, a lot of these hulls, these came from Justin over at Buckeye Ballistics. When he did all that 410 slug testing, he sent me all the empty hulls. So some of these that had slugs in them, they tend to be pretty fast or pretty hot when they're loaded. They're like between 1,600 and 1,800 feet per second. And when the slugs exit out of these, a lot of times the top of these mouths gets a little bit crispy or they split open. So the 410 shells don't seem to last quite as long when you're reloading them, but you can get a couple loads out of them usually, and anything you can get out of them is saving money, because especially these express loads, these are close to, I don't know, probably between $18 and $22 a box, so they're almost $1 a round. They're pretty expensive. So anything I can do to reload 410 and save a few bucks here and there is worthwhile. These shells, when I reload them, usually only cost about, I don't know, 25 cents to reload with the primer and the powder and everything. So they're really economical to reload. And again, if you're buying these new, they're going to be between 80 cents and $1, sometimes over $1 a round. So being able to do it for a quarter of the price is well worth it. And there you have it. Pretty simple load. Again, thanks to Justin over at Buckeye Ballistics for sending these to me. I'll drop some information in the bottom of the video. If you want to check out his videos, you can see all the testing he did on these slugs. Very thankful that I have the opportunity to work with a few other YouTubers. Justin's really been the first one that I've worked with, but it's nice that there is a really good 2A community out there, and I love working with other people. So that's going to do it for this edition of Cranky Gun Reviews from the Reloading Bench. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. If you like the video, hit that like button, share it with your friends. And again, if you want the full load data with the amount of powder I used, the primers I used, and everything else, head on over to my Rumble channel. You can see this video there. Usually I upload to Rumble before I upload to YouTube, just because I try to monetize all my YouTube videos, so sometimes it takes a couple of days before I get that done. So I'll usually upload them to Rumble before they go live on YouTube. So thanks again for watching. Have a great night. God bless America. Support your 2A rights. Get out there and shoot. And you remember, if somebody tells you to give up some of your freedom for the greater good, remind them that freedom is the greater good.